All right, happy Sunday night, everybody. We are live here on Ken's 5, talking all things weather in the Ken's 5 digital sensor on a cold Sunday evening. It is chilly. We have a cold front that has now pushed through. It is south of San Antonio, which we'll show you in a second. Temperatures will continue to tumble and fall rapidly overnight. Let me just fix my shot before we get started, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below as I get situated here on the Ken's 5 weather stream. If you're traveling, I should say, anywhere across the state, we can always go into detail, which we will actually, about wintry weather on Thursday, the potential for snowfall, freezing rain, sleet, all that good stuff later in the week. Mainly between Wednesday night and Friday morning is our best opportunity at some wintry weather, and it's going to be cold. Right now we're forecasting highs like at 40 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Meantime, tomorrow, it'll start off cold near freezing, and especially in the hill country, you'll be in the mid-20s, but temperatures will recover to near 50 tomorrow with a lot of sunshine. So more on that in just a bit. But we'll talk all things weather. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to join the conversation, comment down below, and we'll get started. Right now, 50 degrees. In probably about an hour, we'll have a wind chill factor because once temperatures drop below 50, that's when the wind chill is factored in. Because of those north winds, they're moving at 17 miles an hour. So it feels a lot cooler than the actual air temperature, and we'll actually see that on data coming up. Air is so dry, our dew point's at 24. Wow, that is desert-like dry air. Relative humidity at 36%. It is a clear night. And today's highs, it was interesting. So you can see, now the map isn't exactly what I want. It's showing like almost current temperatures. These are the daytime highs, but I want to show you. So I guess that is true. Let me see. Let me pick a different data source, observation data. There we go. That's what I want to see. So despite the cold air moving in right now, it was a warm day. Normal high in San Antonio in this time of winter is like 62, 63. Instead today, at 2 and 3 o'clock, we hit 77. At about 4 and 5, cold front moved through San Antonio, and that's helping temperatures to fall off. So again, today was warm, 70s and 80s. I hope you enjoyed it because the next 7 to 10 days are not going to be that warm. Right now, temperatures across the board, 50 in the city, 45 at Bernie, and even colder in the hill country at 39. You want snow from Young JoJo Productions. Man, I do too, man. On Thursday, we have a possibility of that happening. I do think anywhere into the hill country, and especially into North Texas, better opportunity of that happening. San Antonio, it's a slight chance, but hey, it's a chance. We have an opportunity at seeing some snow. If that does happen Thursday evening, would be the time it happens. But right now, most of that wintry precip stays north, but we'll see what happens. Mother Nature can sometimes take over. Sammy, good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful night. James, bring on the cold. Yeah, it's here, man. We are chilly, and we're only getting colder from here. And there are those wind speeds. They're gusting over 25 miles an hour. It's windy at Bernie at 36 on the wind gusts. 24 miles an hour in Kerrville, and similar numbers across the area. It is a windy, I would say breezy to windy, because not everywhere is windy, but most areas seeing winds over 20 to 25 miles an hour. So it is going to be a cold and windy night. And so I do want to mention, before we talk about the temperatures, bundle up the kiddos. If you're sending your kids back to school tomorrow morning, or if you're going back to work, if you're going back to your routine tomorrow, obviously it's just after the new year. A lot of folks are getting back into the normal schedule, and tomorrow morning is going to be so cold. We're forecasting a low of like 31. Add in these wind speeds, we'll be right around, like, the wind chills will be in the mid-20s. So it is going to be extremely cold tomorrow morning. You're headed to Abilene Thursday. It's going to be cold. Yeah, Eglin. I mean, a lot colder than here. And then Abilene, anywhere along the I-20 corridor from Dallas to maybe Lubbock, has the potential on Thursday at seeing snow. That's North Texas. Here in San Antonio and South Central Texas, a little less of a threat. Sweater weather, absolutely, Judy, that is for sure. And the great thing about this, next 5 days is sweater weather. I would say the next 7 days is sweater weather, and it's going to at least stick around, because that's what a lot of people say. They complain about, oh, it's cold at first, but then temperatures recover, and we're back in the 60s and 70s. Thankfully, this pattern that's going to be in place tonight will stay locked in for the next 7 and 8 days. And it will only get colder through Thursday. Hot chocolate night, absolutely. I am craving some hot chocolate, Grace. Can you give me some, Grace? Come on, share it. Judy, have a wonderful night. And Melissa, happy Sunday. We are secured. Pipes, plants, pets. Was that necessary? Well, I mean, it's okay to be safe, right? It's okay to overdo it because not everywhere's pipes are the same. But I would say good, especially if you're watching from the hill country. Let me fast forward to this because we're talking about that right now. So tomorrow morning, 6, 7 a.m., 31 degrees, mid-20s. I would say if there are any problems with pipes, it would be in the hill country between Bernie and Fredericksburg, between there and Rock Springs. Now, usually for pipe bursting cold weather, you need temperatures to fall below like 22 degrees, and that needs to be at that temperature for about, more than 12 to 15 hours. For the hill country, matter of fact, I think I have a graphic on it. Let me show you that right now. This is actually kind of how it depicts it perfectly. This highlighted area will be at or below 32 for about 9 hours for the hill country. San Antonio, we may dip down below freezing, but just for like 1 to 2, maybe 3 hours max. So it's going to be a very light freeze in the city and anywhere that's not highlighted. But in the hill country, in that blue highlighted area, 32 or below for 9 hours max. And that's important because we were just talking about that. For pipes bursting, for that kind of cold, polar, Arctic weather, for pipes to burst, you need 22 or below for over 15 hours. And we're only going to be maybe in the mid-20s for about 9 hours for the hill country tomorrow morning. So it could be colder, but it's never bad to be overly safe. So that's a good thing that you're wrapping the pipes. You bring your plants in, watch over your pets, worry about your family, your friends, your neighbors, as well as the cold weather drops in. But if you can't bring in your plants, if you can cover them with a tarp to insulate the heat a little bit more at the surface, that'll definitely help in the next 24 hours. Salvi, time to drink some hot soup. Yeah, it is some soup weather. I had some pho this past weekend, and I want some more. And it's going to be more soup weather through the entire week. Man, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday are going to be like the best soup days coming up, so get ready for that. Sammy, you live in Pleasanton. It's imperative that I cover my pipes. Sammy, we're talking about that, and as a matter of fact, on this graphic right here, this is where I think it would be the most imperative for those to cover their pipes, to insulate the heat and cover their pipes for the possibility at it bursting. But for San Antonio, if you're watching from here, Pleasanton, Hondo, Cuero, Victoria, Tilden, Cotulla, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, I don't think it's going to be a widespread issue. We'll drop to at freezing maybe for a few hours, but for pipes bursting, you need at least 22 degrees or colder and for more than 15 hours. For this highlighted area you're seeing in blue, that is going to be at or below 32, mid-20s tomorrow morning for about 9 hours. So it's not going to be as cold as previous Arctic blasts in the past, but it's okay to be safe. But I think for Pleasanton, you'll be fine in Pleasanton and San Antonio as well around the metro. Check on the elderly, please, Eglin. Absolutely. Please check on your neighbors, the elderly, kids, pets, all the above. Check around your neighborhood as well. Arthur, good evening, man. Hope you're having a wonderful night, brother. Jacob, when will it be a bike ride day? When will it warm up? Well, tomorrow will be warm. That's not really. 51 degrees tomorrow's high. That's pretty cold. Matter of fact, that's like 10 degrees below average. So for a warm day, well, I would probably say wait until this upcoming weekend, probably by Sunday. Jacob is when it starts to recover, but this entire week is going to be pretty cold. Freezing in the overnights and the mornings and chilly in the afternoons, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, where highs will only stay in the lower 40s and upper 30s, so get ready for that. I am lazy. Bringing the plants in, that's that cold? Well, Priscilla, I would say just in case, because, we'll be at freezing for a few hours. Okay, so that's a good point. Let me actually bring this up real quick. I talked to the National Weather Service. This is a great piece of information, guys. We were talking about pipes earlier. So 21 degrees or colder for over 18 hours, that's when pipes become a widespread issue. Are there moments and times where it can be 22 degrees and for only 12 hours and pipes can burst? Absolutely. But this is a general rule of thumb We're not going to get that cold where pipes bursting will be a widespread issue. It's just not going to be that cold. It will be cold tomorrow morning, mid-20s for the Hill Country and around 30 for San Antonio. But in terms of pipes breaking, pressure differentials from morning low to afternoon high, it's not going to be a huge problem. Plants, 28 degrees or colder for more than 6 hours. So technically, plants, if you keep them out, I think they'll be overall fine. But if you really enjoy your vegetation and your plants and you have them in pots outside, just in case, bring them indoors. But again, it's not going to be as cold as, let's say, for North Texas or Oklahoma, where they're looking at like single digits for wind chill values. But again, this is just a general piece of information for pipes and plants. We're not going to expect temperatures to get that cold. But for plants, it's always good to just be careful and be safe just in case. Denise, absolutely. You're very welcome, Sammy. You're very welcome. Luis, any snow? Well, we're going to talk about that in a second, man. Just give it a second. Sandra, what's the temperature for Lytle overnight and tomorrow morning? I just joined. Absolutely. So Lytle, I would say, that's southwest of San Antonio. I would say Lytle drops to about 30 to 31 degrees overnight, so a light freeze for Lytle down I-35, so get ready for that. Arthur, thank you so much. Sandra, yes, so for anyone getting out early tomorrow morning, winds will be moving around 15, 20 miles an hour, a little breezy. It'll be cold. The wind chills will be in the mid-20s. Hill country air temperatures mid-20s with the wind chills in the lower 20s. So tomorrow morning, this is what you are, I keep pointing in the wrong direction. This is what you're looking at tomorrow morning. These are the forecast lows for south central Texas. From the Hill Country to Beeville, from Del Rio to Gonzales, this is what we're looking at tomorrow morning. Add in that northerly wind, the wind chill, the feels like temperature will be a little colder than that. So we're looking at probably feels like temperatures in the mid-20s tomorrow morning. How about China Grove? I would say probably around 31 to 30 for, China Grove. That's for sure. 27 at Bernie tomorrow morning and 24 in Fredericksburg. So clear skies, dry air, low humidity, cold polar air, Arctic temperatures. This is what happens in the overnight. Temperatures fall off rapidly. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. Starting off at freezing around 6 and 7 a.m. And then we'll make it up to the upper 40s, right around 50 degrees tomorrow afternoon. So overall, going to be a cold day. It's going to be cold to start and chilly to finish. But it will be sunny. Temperatures will recover. It's not until Wednesday and Thursday the clouds roll in, and so does the chance for rain. And when you combine cold temperatures, Arctic air, and moisture, rain, bad combination. Let me show you why. Sandra, your kids are asking if it will snow in Lytle. It's a small chance. It is a baby small chance, but I do want to say most areas farther north have a better opportunity at seeing snow. North of Austin, especially in the Dallas and Fort Worth and the Panhandle, that's where they're going to see widespread snow later this week. San Antonio, probably just rain. I would say likely just rain, but there is a chance that some of that may convert into sleet, freezing rain, which, rain freezes on contact. That'll be a problem Thursday evening for cars, elevated surfaces, bridges, trees, power lines. Freezing rain could be a problem Thursday evening. But for snowfall, mainly farther north, I will show you a forecast model in a second that does paint out a little bit of snowfall farther south into San Antonio. But we're on the outer edge of that system, so we'll show you that in a second. They said, oh, I know, I'm sorry. I know, the last time we saw snow was what? Back in 2021. That was bad. But we like snow, but like in small amounts, not in like weekly amounts, but there's a chance for it on Thursday, but it's a low chance, better chance up in Dallas and Fort Worth. Good evening, Jeanette, and stay safe, everyone. Absolutely. Stay safe, especially this week as the cold temperatures really come in. Mountain Cedar will be all around. Oh, my goodness, Karen. Yeah, I need to actually update that. Before I get to the Futurecast, I do want to update that real quickly. Because the past couple of days, Mountain Cedar has been light, and before I pull this up, this is not the correct pollen count. I know. Well, I know, relatively small amounts. This was, I think, the last couple of days. So now it's actually heavy. So give me a second as I update this, guys. Give me 1 second. Bear with me as I update it. Mountain Cedar is actually, from today's pollen count, is over 4,000. It is heavy. This past week or so, we've seen it upwards of 7,000 to 8,000. So it's been heavier. But, when cold fronts move through, Mount Cedar is the result. Colder air, obviously, but the juniper trees in the hill country, when cold air moves in from the north, that northerly wind transports that juniper and that mountain cedar pollen all the way towards San Antonio, and that's why we start sneezing. That's why we start feeling the sniffles and we start feeling sick, and it's because of the mountain cedar, especially in December, January, and February, where it is the heaviest. We actually peak in cedar, I believe, in mid to late January and even early February as well. All right, so that is the current count, 4,000 on mountain cedar on this Sunday night. If you're just joining us, guys, it is cold out there. We are seeing temperatures drop. Last time we checked, it was 50, and it's still 50 outside, 39 at Fredericksburg, 40s in the hill country, and 60s in George West and Beeville. So it's moving towards the Texas coast. Okay, back to what we were talking about. What's stopping the snow formation? Is it the temperature or is it the cold air not as strong enough? It's a little bit of both. Let me show you what happens, actually. This will kind of depict it better. First and foremost, this system, it should move across South Texas, which kind of gives the lift and the dynamics in the atmosphere more favorable for Central and North Texas. So this is Wednesday night and Thursday morning. And keep in mind, this is one forecast model, one opinion on what may happen. Other models say something else, but this is one model that says perhaps some freezing rain, some sleet in the hill country, maybe northwest San Antonio, late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Notice how all the snow, which you're seeing in that kind of bluish, whitish color, remains out in North Texas, anywhere from Lubbock to Dallas, maybe as far south as Killeen and Waco, but most of San Antonio, it's liquid. It's just good old-fashioned rain and some heavy downpours towards Houston and western Louisiana. So it's the position of the energy of this upper level low. If this low were farther south or a little bit farther north, it could change the boundary of snow, the snow and freezing line, as it maybe dips farther south or farther north. So the placement of low and also the temperature at the surface, because if it starts raining in the upper levels, most likely the higher altitudes of the atmosphere are producing snow. But when temperatures get above freezing, which, by the way, we're forecasting a high of about 40 to 41 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's above freezing. So whenever that snow in the upper levels falls to the ground, or at least near us, it melts because it's not at or below 32. So it's a mixture of the vertical profile of temperatures and also the positioning of this upper level storm system, and where the dynamics and the upper level lift is more ripe and more conducive and more favorable. So a little bit of several moving factors, but that's kind of what it's looking like between late Wednesday night, Thursday morning. By Friday afternoon, skies clear. Thankfully, this is not going to be a slow moving winter storm. It'll be a fast moving winter storm because, back in 2021, that's when it was stagnant. I mean, we saw just several rounds of freezing rain, snow. As if you lived here back in 2021 February, that was when it was bad. But this winter storm this week is not going to be anywhere like that, and temperatures will be above freezing every day this week. So that'll be the good news. Diana, good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Same to Nora from New Braunfels, Texas. Thanks for the weather update. Absolutely. You're very welcome, Nora. Barbara, good evening from Floresville. Thanks for sharing from Karen. Feeling it a little today. Yeah, Jeanette, the mountain cedar, it's heavy. It's over 4,000. If you're sneezing, if you feel weird, if you're feeling your allergies kind of spike, that's probably the mountain cedar. It's heavy today. It'll be heavy to extreme tomorrow, Tuesday. I think this entire week, mountain cedar is going to be a problem. Now, more of a problem is the rain Wednesday night and Thursday. As you can see, this is just a forecast map. Obviously, as we get more forecast data in tomorrow and Tuesday, these boundaries may change a little bit, but this is kind of what I'm thinking as of tonight, Sunday evening. Mostly rain, good old-fashioned rain in San Antonio from Del Rio to Austin. But there will be that boundary of wintry mix, sleet, freezing rain that drops a little bit farther south into Fredericksburg, into Kerrville, maybe as far south as Bernie. And it's possible that it moves farther south into northern Bexar County. It's a possibility. But this is kind of how I'm seeing it right now. Again, we may adjust these boundaries tomorrow. Paul Morales will be here tomorrow morning. Bill Taylor will be here tomorrow night. We'll adjust the forecast and see if the models are trending more farther north or farther south on the wintry preset. But we'll give you updates in the days to come as we get more high resolution data from our models and a better idea of how we're handling the atmosphere as well. Diana, you're feeling it. Yeah, the mountain cedar, it is heavy, and it's going to be extreme tomorrow. It's going to be heavy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So It's just not going to go away. It's that time of year where mountain cedar just spikes. So, okay, one more thing. So that was a general forecast. Here's what happens late Wednesday night into Thursday. There we go. So let me stop the clock. So this goes all the way through Saturday, right about here. So this is what it looks like. Again, this is just a forecast model, an opinion on what could the atmosphere do between Wednesday and Friday. I do think the bulk of wintry weather will be across North Texas, anywhere from San Angelo to Dallas, maybe Waco. But there is going to be a fine line, a gradient, a dividing line where a lot of us don't see anything. But where you're seeing these smaller accumulations, that's where a flurry will be possible. So there is hope because look, you can see as I zoom in, North Bexar County, maybe it's a chance. It's a small chance. I don't think it's likely, but it's a chance that between Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, there may be a area of sleet, freezing rain, and maybe one or two flurries in the entire area of San Antonio. So it's not a slam dunk, that is for sure. I do think this is what the model is saying. Anywhere from San Angelo to Dallas to Sherman, that's where snowfall is going to be the most widespread, the heaviest, where they could pick up more than a foot of snowfall. Insane for North Texas, but it happens. Winter storms can do this. But again, the amounts fall off rapidly the farther south you go. Even the hill country could see a few flurries, maybe some sleet Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. I would say the hill country probably has a better chance of that happening, but we'll have to watch it very closely. If you join us tomorrow, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, this model, I keep pointing in the wrong direction, this model will likely change a little bit. So tune back in tomorrow with Paul, tomorrow night with Bill. I'll be here as well, providing updates on what could be some freezing rain, some sleet, and some snow accumulation in the area. But again, big takeaway, North Texas will see the brunt and bulk of this snow. Small chance it moves farther south, but right now, that's kind of what it's looking like, right there. Do you need to cover up your plants? I would suggest so, Diana, just in case. We're going to drop below freezing just for a few hours. That's not going to be a widespread plant issue, but just in case, cover your plants, keep the heat in for tomorrow, for Converse, Texas. Yeah, east side. Yeah, Diana, just in case. Diana, just in case for your plants. If you can, if they're in pots, bring them in. If you can't bring them in, cover them with a tarp. That'll definitely help. Every night this week will be below freezing. Briefly for San Antonio, more of a widespread freeze for the hill country. Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Comfort, Rock Springs, and things like that. Okay, we are going live after the Golden Globes in about, hopefully, depending on how long they go, in about maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Again, we'll see if that, we'll keep tabs on it and keep you posted. But this is what the week has in store. Tomorrow, 50 degrees from 32 to 50. It's going to be cold all week, a lot colder Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as clouds roll in, and so does the chance for rain. 60% coverage on scattered rain, maybe a couple of downpours Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. High of 40 to 41. Oh my goodness, Thursday is going to be so cold. Maria, you're very welcome. 49 Friday, skies clear Friday afternoon, Friday night, and by next weekend, highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. It's going to be a lot better. Tomorrow and Tuesday, awesome. Saturday and Sunday, awesome. But it's Wednesday and Thursday and Friday where it's just cold, damp, cloudy, rainy, ugly, that kind of variety of rain. But, we need it. We need the rain. Drought is pretty bad, so we need any drop we can get. And then, our models are, suggesting another couple of pushes of some colder air by next week. But I think this upcoming week, it will be the coldest for a while. Below average temperatures by next week, but yeah, this week, 42 on Wednesday, 41 Thursday. Hill country areas likely staying in the 30s all day Thursday with rain and the possibility at sleet, freezing rain, and some snow, especially in central and north Texas Thursday evening. So we'll keep tabs on that. Matter of fact, download the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store, guys. Our local Mets, me, Paul, Bill, Roxy, Jeremy Baker, we're updating this forecast constantly. So when you download the KENS 5 app, you have notifications, push alerts when we go live, when we have weather-related stories, updates, computer model guidance. The latest will be on the KENS 5 app on our weather impact article. So tune in, download the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store today. Do you need to cover any plants by Pleasanton, Texas? I would say so, just in case. But I think the hill country will see more of a widespread plant issue as they drop below freezing for about 9 hours. I think Pleasanton will only be at freezing for 1 to 2 hours tomorrow morning. It's not going to be a huge issue, but just in case, you know, it's always good to be overly safe and overly protective of your plants, especially if you really care about that, for sure. But yeah, overnight 32 for San Antonio. Pleasanton probably at about 32 to 33 tomorrow morning, but a light brief freeze for Pleasanton, more of a widespread hard freeze for the hill country. Stay warm, Ryan. You too, Diana. Thank you so much. You guys stay warm as well. Drive safe, especially on Thursday. Be careful. Avoid any unnecessary travel on Thursday, because it's going to be cold and very cloudy and very rainy on Thursday. So rain is on the way, and maybe even some snow flurries. We'll see what happens. We'll have another update on KENS 5 in about 20 minutes on KENS 5 News at 10 after the Golden Globes. If not, we'll see you later, guys. Download the KENS 5 app. It is free. The forecast, here it is. Next 14 days, cold and wintry. Next 5 to 7.